Well, first of all, Mr. Walker, thank you so much for coming in and helping us celebrate the life of Paul.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
How are you doing?
It's a sad time. We're a very close, loving family, and Paul is a piece that's missing now that we're always going to miss.
Right after Paul's death, you actually said, I'm just glad that every time I saw him, I told him I loved him. And he said the same thing to me. His heart was so big. I was so proud of him every day of his life. What a wonderful thing for a father to be able to say.
It was very easy for me to say, though, because it was so true. The last time I saw him, he was sitting on the couch, but doing this. Always Mr. Jigglyfoot, you know. And I said, you know, we ought to start calling you Saint Paul, all the nice things you do. And he goes, he goes, you know, I appreciate that. We always gave each other a hug. He'd give me a kiss on the cheek. I'd give him one, tell him I loved him. It's a great memory.
I was going to say, what a great memory.
Good feeling, I thank God. I say, thank you for giving me this great kid, this wonderful man, this person that lit up a lot of people's lives. You know, he didn't like Hollywood.
He didn't
like it.
Really?
Didn't like it.
Did he feel like he didn't fit in?
But it was important to Paul that he be real. That what you saw on film was Paul.
Yeah.
And that was Paul. Sat him down one time and I says, Paul, do you realize what a miserable place planet Earth would be without entertainers? Without singers, without writers, without actors. I says, they bring sunshine into our lives. Maybe a little gloomy if it's, you know, real dramatic, but I says, what a sad place the world would be. Be proud of what you do. You make people feel good. And he said, you know, I didn't think of it that way.
How ironic that the last few hours of his life, he was doing good for other people. He was doing exactly what you're talking about. Take me back to that day. Take me back to the moment where you found out that he had been in an accident and had passed away.
I was on my motorcycle. Kept getting calls, and I call, and my brother says, Paul has been killed. I'm thinking, somebody's got it wrong. Where are you at? When did it happen? He says, you need to get over to the house. Everybody's there. I said, okay. I says, I'm about 45 minutes away. And I pulled my phone up, and my feet wouldn't move. So was this young guy next to me. He just pulled up, and I said, buddy, would you do me a favor and put air in my rear tire? I can't do it. He said, sure, dude. I said, I just heard my son was killed. And he looked at me and he just reached up and gave me a big hug. He says, I'm so sorry. I don't know if he's out there. Maybe he'll watch this program and he'll know who this old guy was on that motorcycle. But I'd like to say thank you to him.
Mm-hmm. Have you been able to go back to the crash site? Have you been there?
Quite a few times.
You have. What is that like?
I like to read little notes that people leave. You ought to see the beautiful sentiments people leave there.
What kind of dad was Paul?
He was a cuddler. And he would say to Meadow, come on, talk to your grandfather, you know, because she was shy. She's a shy gal. And you see, all of their pictures are like this. Every picture I've seen them,
they're cuddling.
They are so, you just see the love in their faces, I guess is what I want to say.
It's very true. The Fast and Furious cast, have you spoken with them? Have you kept
Some
in touch
of
with
them.
them?
Paul loved Tyrese. He loved Ludacris. Michelle Rodriguez, he said, was the most fun person to go out on the town with.
Dude, I almost had you. You almost had me.
Paul loved Vin. Paul said, I'm East Coast, he's West Coast. He says, Vin is perfectionist. Paul says, I want to say, let's just get it done so we can go goof off.
He did the stare and drive on you, didn't he? He got that from me.
Tyrese, he'd said a prayer at the house that was just tore my heart out.
What did he say?
He had us all hold hands. Thank you for knowing Paul, having the privilege of knowing him. and the light that he brought into our lives, and the goodness that he did, in the hopes that we would pass that legacy onward and be ever mindful of goodness in the world. Yeah.
No, I know Caleb and Cody were able to step in
Oh, gosh.
and be the body doubles for Paul in Fast and Furious 7.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
I went on set one time. It was very hard because they looked just like Paul.
Was it tough for them to be able to do that?
The
Because they were
cast,
trying to be their brother.
People were wonderful to him.
They were.
They said it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. Everybody. They said, Dad, these people really love Paul. And I said, yeah, now they love you. You're his brother. You get around you're the same. They're the same as Paul.
Yeah.
They're all chipped from the same brick.
So they felt honored to be able to help him finish
Yes.
the movie.
They're big-hearted men.
What's the one thing that you think people don't know about Paul that they should know?
What you saw is what you got. Paul, boy, his love of people was so genuine. His soul was huge. He didn't want to talk about himself. He wanted you to tell him what you did. That was important to him.
I want to see the pictures you brought.
Okay.
You got a lot of pictures through the years there.
Oh yeah, that's
Look,
him
the
as just
baby
that's him, a little
picture.
guy. You know.
He's still got the same smile, even at what? Is he even, how old is he there? Not even a year.
No. We always said he was very well fed, wasn't he?
Hey, look at what he turned out to be. That's pretty good now.
Now this is a Christmas picture of the whole family.
Oh, how
See
nice.
how much they look like Mom.
Oh, well, you all have blue eye, all of them.
And here's Paul. This is probably in Powers, Oregon. We used to like to go up there. Paul in water and fishing. Oh, as soon as we'd stop, well, him and his brother too, Caleb too. Where'd they go? They got their fishing poles. They're down at the river.
They were off doing something fun and
They're off.
exciting.
Yep. They would and look. They were boys. Like he was like a Tom Sawyer. You know, just
That's a good
Huckleberry
comparison,
Finn.
Yeah. What do you want people to remember about him the most?
He was the real deal. He's a fine man, and he's the kind of man you want to be like. If you want to liken yourself or follow in the footsteps of somebody, it should be Paul William Walker IV, because he was as fine a person as there ever was, and he would have gotten better.